Well, hello and a warm welcome. Dr. Seal here, junior doctor from Australia on the psychiatry training program. Look, every time I take a break from YouTube, I find it, easiest to come back with a life update and then get back into making videos again. I think the longer a break I take from making videos, the harder it is to start again. And so I think this is a little bit selfish, but just making a video updating you guys on what life has been like, uh, and then reading the comments on your reflections and your perspectives on whatever's going on in my life is a really good way for me to get back into making videos. And it's been a phase. I guess I'm coming out of a phase where uh, my life has really not been about YouTube, but now I'm entering a phase where I want it to be a much more uh, one of the priorities in my life again. So it's it's time to get back into it. So I got my cup of tea. We're going for lemon and ginger, and uh, and I got a couple of updates for you guys. The main reason I haven't been making videos is, as some of you may know, I've had one of the big psychiatry training program exams called the multiple choice question examination. And when people hear MCQ, multiple choice questions, they think, oh, it's easy, it's one of four answers and you got a 25% chance of being right. So just guess if you don't know. But that's not really how they do it in psychiatry and in medical specialty training exams. It has an okay pass rate, but the questions are tough. There's usually about eight answers. There's usually two of those eight answers which are very close to equally right. And sometimes, in my opinion, there's not that much in the stem to kind of work out what the better answer is of the two. So a lot of questions you're 50-50 on. And what that results in is essentially leaving the exam and not knowing how you went. So there was a pretty universal sense of, bewilderment after the exam. So I started about a week and a half ago. Oh my gosh. Time perspective is affected because I'm just coming off of nights. I started, I guess, 2.5 weeks ago. And I think it went, I don't know. I don't know how it went. I'll get the results on Monday. I'll make a video about the exam and the study and the results. And I will be stoked if I pass. And if I don't pass, I'll just study again and sit it again. You can sit it up to 3 times. So, the line you hear from senior psych registrars and consultants is if you passed every exam in med school, it'll be the specialty exams that get you. They're very hard. They don't have that higher pass rates. The MCQ exam has better pass rates than the other exams, but still, we'll see how we go. It's very hard to know because so many questions are just so ambiguous. Yeah, so results on Monday. Looking forward to getting the results and being able to plan. Even if I don't pass, it'll help me plan the rest of my year. If I do pass, I'll take a Europe trip. If I don't pass, I'll I don't know what I'll do. I'll figure it out, but at least I'll be able to plan. So that's something. Now, that was a pretty intense phase. I haven't actually looked at a textbook since for the last 2.5 weeks. I haven't even looked at a textbook. I've got like a textbook PTSD. But yeah, I shouldn't joke about that. But it's just I need a break from the textbooks. So I took a week off and I went to Melbourne. I went camping with some friends, and then I met up with my partner in Melbourne, and we had a lovely week there. We saw Pink live, saw some friends, saw some museums, lots of insects and dinosaurs. Really cool. I think I would love to collect insects, but I don't know. I think you have to kill the insects to get an insect collection, so I have to think about if that's actually what I want. But they're so interesting. I find insects just really fascinating. And anyway, it was really cool to be in Melbourne for a week. And then I came back and went straight into night shifts. So I've just finished 4 of them, and it's now about it's about 3 p.m. And I finished this morning. I had about 1.5 hours of sleep, so one sleep cycle, and then just woke up at about 11 a.m. and just I try and do have a normal day after 11 a.m. And then I'll try and sleep tonight at a reasonable hour, and then I know exactly what will happen. The good thing about this set of nights is I've really locked onto my biology and my circadian rhythm shift with night shifts. So I know exactly when I'll sleep, when I'll wake up, how to manage it, and that is so nice. So I actually don't feel like I feel pretty good. I just went for a 10 kilometer jog, and I've had 1.5 hours sleep in the last whatever 24 hours. So and I don't even have bags. Oh, I got a little bit of bags under my eyes, but anyway, it's the deal. It's the way it goes. Um, so the first hack is I discovered my sleep patterns, which, if you're interested, is essentially I have a nap before the night shift, and I just listen to an audiobook in a pitch black room before my first one, and then caffeine to get through the first shift, and then I get home. I don't take any melatonin. I sleep for 2 sleep cycles, so 3 hours, and then I'll wake up at midday ish, eat some food because my hunger doesn't shift that quickly when it comes to night shifts. So I just eat normally daytime hours. And then I go back to sleep at about 3 p.m. with melatonin, and then that carries me until 8:30 p.m. and then I get ready to go to work. And that worked every single day, which is really good. And then on the last shift, I just have the morning sleep cycles. So I only had one this morning, but sometimes I might have two. So 1.5 hours to 3 hours. I wake up naturally, and then I have a coffee, 2 coffees throughout the day, and try and just make it till 7 p.m. And then I'll probably crash around 7 p.m. So this is uncaffeinated tea, lemon and ginger, as you know. Oh, I'm not even showing the nice side of the mug. It says, can you see that? I love my cavoodle. Yep. I don't feel like Albie my cavoodle looks exactly like that, but it's close enough. It was a nice gift. Yeah, the other life hack that I was mentioning before is eye drops. Oh, I don't know if it's because I'm getting old. I think maybe night shift, but I was finding my eyes were sore and itchy, and I'd never had any symptoms like that before. And I was rubbing my eyes a lot more, and I wasn't aware of it. When you're in a night shift mode right now in this stage, you're not fully conscious. This is like a semi-conscious state. If you did an EEG, it wouldn't. I don't think I'll have the alert beta waves. I think I'd have like a for the EEG geeks out there. EEG is the brain wave monitoring things. I think I would have like some theta or delta waves or something. I'd be slightly delirious right now. It is crazy that we have to do night shifts, because I do think I do feel my IQ drops on night shifts, but everyone's understanding of that, and um, you do have to get really good at the core parts of the job. Like, you have to be really good at assessing psychosis and situational crises and depression and mania, um, and really overnight when I'm seeing patients, the goal is not necessarily to have all the answers long term. It's really a short term plan. So it's really disposition. Where does this person need to be? Do they need to be in the hospital, at home? Where does this person need to be, and get them to the right place? And that just requires really good risk assessment, and discussions with the patients, and a knowledge of how systems work. Because overnight, there's no consultant on the ground. It's just me and a clinician, and we take care of all of ACT. So I'm getting calls from all the hospitals. So it's very logistical. Always talking about, and if there's issues on wards in other hospitals, that can be really tricky to work out, which does happen all the time. An interesting thing happens though. I don't want to jinx it, but there's kind of like shifts where the wards are really busy, and it tends to be that the emergency department is less busy on those shifts. And then there are shifts where the emergency department is really busy, and then the wards tend to be quieter on those shifts. So I don't know if they're talking to one another, if if the patients on the wards are just choosing when to, require assistance. No, obviously not. But yeah, it's weird. There's these weird patterns you notice. And there's also, it was only when I became a doctor that I became superstitious. I was never superstitious before, but now, there's all these superstitions about words you should and shouldn't say. You can't use the Q word. So if you say that a shift is quiet, it always then goes fireworks. It gets really, really busy. I've seen that happen multiple times. So I'm superstitious now. That's the way it goes. The other thing that happens with me is if I am on a shift and it's well, I'm not on a shift now, so I can use the word, and it's quiet. If I do kind of anything not psychiatry related, so if I have free time and it's quiet, if I read a textbook or watch a lecture on psychiatry, uh, that's fine. It'll stay quiet. But the second I start like watching YouTube videos about something that's not psychiatry related, boom, I get a phone call. Ugh. So if it's quiet and I'm bored, I might do that, and by serendipity or whatever, then it'll get busy, and then I'll have stuff to do. Um, and otherwise, I have to study, and it doesn't get busy. So that's a weird pattern I've noticed. Obviously, this isn't evidence based, and I'm not. Yeah, I'm just. It's just a coincidence, but interesting one, nevertheless. So those were the big updates. I did the MCQ exam. I had a lovely Melbourne trip. I'm feeling fresh. Just finished nights. I'm not feeling physically fresh, but I'm surprised I was able to go for a run. I kept doing like points in the run where I thought I'd turn around, but I kept going and did the full 10Ks, which is awesome. So, I think it's probably because I haven't done any exercise over the 4 nights that I've been working. So my body was like, move. But moving forward, I want to do a lot more YouTube. So I'm going to kind of have a think about what this channel is really about. I really need to think about, who's this for, and maybe put comments down below on the kind of videos you look forward to, and maybe a little bit of a blurb on your background so that I can do some market research to the people who stay this long, 10 minutes into my videos. What do you want to see on this channel? What do you find helpful? And I've gotten some emails from people who want to collaborate, which is cool. So I'm keen to start some collaboration and maybe do some podcasty type things with some psychiatrists to talk about some big issues. I think that'll be super interesting. Other than that, that's all I wanted to talk about in this video, and my tea is almost empty, so that's pretty good timing. And I wish you all just a beautiful day. Yeah. Full of love, connection, call a friend, tell them you love them. It's good stuff. All right. That's it. Bye for now, guys. I'll see you in the next video.